back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome, and please do join me every Wednesday for Wisdom of Pearls. So let's get right into it. So for today's video, I will be talking about self-care. So to start with, I am one person who has always been big on self-care, taking care of myself, taking care of how I look. One person who always tries by all means in every season and whatever each season brings to stay in tune with self, to stay in tune with being. So away from this being part of my personality, I believe that self-care is something that is intentional. You have to intentionally apply to your life because different seasons come, seasons change, and it's easy for you to sink into those seasons and forget yourself. So leading to where I am today, from the home front, I'm a wife and a mom, and for me it's important to really strive to be the best and give the best that I can give. But you realize that as women, we tend to sink into our role as mom, we tend to sink into our role as wife, and all the different aspects and different demands that may require for us to give ourselves. We need to come to a place where we realize that you cannot give from an empty cup, and that's why self-care is very important. It's important to have and take time out for yourself. It's important to have and take time out to rejuvenate yourself, to refill yourself, to revive yourself, so that as you give from a full vessel. You give from a place where you know you are fed, you know you are happy, you know that your personal inner needs are met. In everything that God has called us to be, in every responsibility that God has given us, it's really important for us to be aware that you cannot give from an empty cup. You cannot give your best abilities, you cannot give your best self if you don't feed into yourself. I can give an example of educators out there, or pastors, or mentors, or any other person that is giving of themselves to another person or into something else, even into our businesses. When you come back and think through, you need to continuously feed yourself for you to give your best self, for you to be the best boss that you can be, for you to be the best mentor you can be, for you to be the best entrepreneur, for you to be the best speaker, basically for you just to be the best that you can be. To give out and give out fully, you need to take time out for yourself. This applies to every aspect of our lives. You need to realize that self-care is not selfish. It's giving into yourself, it's investing into yourself, so that those that benefit from you are benefiting from your fullness. And that's why it's important to keep refilling, to keep taking that time out, because truth is, responsibilities as we grow are demanding of us, and you need to give in to yourself. The moment you continuously giving and not taking even just an hour of a day just for yourself, just for you to breathe, you are going to run out, you're going to burn out. So for me, the month of February, I took it upon myself to intentionally just reestablish some of the things that I know I had neglected, some of the things that I know I love to do and found myself not doing, not because I didn't want to do them. So during the month of February, I took it upon myself to invest in myself and just really do stuff for myself, away from what my husband would do for me, or what someone who cares about me would do for me, but doing it for myself, for me. And it was so fulfilling. It was such a great step for me to take, because it brought a realization that sometimes it's the little things and little decisions that you make. It's the ability to say I will do this for myself without feeling guilty. Like, I don't know how our minds are set up, but there's always that guilt feeling. I don't know if other moms can relate, but there's always that guilt feeling that you get if probably you get something just for yourself and not for your child. There's that sense of guilt that you feel, but I feel like it's coming to a place where you hold yourself at a place of value, the same way that you value your spouse, the same way that you value your children, and that you value all these different other things. I feel that it's important for us to reach a place where we value ourselves so much, where we value taking care of ourselves, where where we realize that we are valuable and treating yourself as such is not a bad thing. So I am going to be sharing 5 self-care tips that personally I have applied and I feel have helped me and have been beneficial to me. Tip number one, before anything else, is soul care. Like I said, you cannot give from an empty cup. You cannot give from an empty vessel. You will burn out. You will become frustrated. You will give up. You will drain yourself. So when I say self-care, for me, this is holistic. It's who I am as a person. It's not only the outward appearance, but it's who I am as a person. What defines self? What defines me from the inside out? So tip number one, being so care for me, is taking care of your spirit, taking care of the inner you, taking care of your mind, your mental state, taking care of your heart. It is what's in your heart that is going to radiate out of your life. What you speak is coming from the inside of you. What you think is coming from the inside of you. What you feed yourself. So for me, soul care is very important. Invest in yourself, invest in your spirit, invest in your mind. What I do is every day I have set a reminder on my phone, because that's something that I carry everywhere that I go. One of the things that I have done to kickstart my soul care is to put my phone on flight mode before I go to bed. So once I'm done touching my phone for the night, I'm done. In the morning when I wake up, it's still on flight mode up until at least I get my Bible reading and say a prayer. Then I can switch it on to start your day with the word of God. It's important to feed yourself with the most positive things as you start the day. So a spiritual practice or routine is very important in any part of your day. You can choose whatever works for you, but for me, mornings are the best because your mind is refreshed. You just woke up. There's nothing that's clogging your mind. There's nothing that's good. There's nothing much that is going on your mind. So I feel like mornings are the best. I also do late nights, which are very refreshing for me as a person as well. The truth is, we are in a world where we are encountering different stuff, from the things that we watch, from the things that we listen to, from what people say, from just different things that are going on. And it's easy for whatever you hear, whatever you see, to feed into your spirit, to change your perspective of how you view yourself as a person. Different negative things being said, you start to doubt your abilities, you start to doubt who you are as a person. So feed into your spirit, feed into your mind what God says about you. It's very, very important that you feed into your soul and that you feed into your spirit. Tip number two is intentionally prioritize your self-care. Intentionally prioritizing your self-care is coming to a place where you kind of like turn it into a habit. Make it part of you, something that you do constantly, that you do regularly. If you have to kind of like create a timetable or schedule on how it's going to be done, you do that. Personally, I have dedicated 3 days in a week for my skincare. So my soul care, that's every day. My outward appearance, my making sure that my skin is nice and clean 3 times in a week. Of course, I bath every day. Don't get me wrong. Of course, I bath every day, but in those Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, if I don't get it for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, at least I'll do it on Monday or on Friday. But importantly, I have to do it. Even if it has to be once a week on a Friday, I have to do it. That's the day where I dedicate so much time into just investing into myself. If I have to scrub, if I have to soak myself, if I have to detox and mask my face, I dedicate that evening particularly for myself in that setup. For me, creating that kind of schedule like helps me and gives me a reminder like, oh, okay, you need to do this. It's a priority. And it being a priority to you becomes a priority to those around you, because you're also kind of teaching them what you like. So prioritizing some of those areas in your life gives the people around you a chance to get to know you, a chance to get to know a particular side of you, that you like some of these things, that some of these things make you happy, they put you in a good space. So it's important for you to define what it is that you like, to define what lights you up, to define that thing that you know that if I feed myself with this, it's going to be not only beneficial to me, but it's going to be beneficial to others, and in turn it's going to make me fulfilled and happy. Some of the things that I do, probably taking a long shower while I pamper my skin, maybe scrub, it puts me in a place where I'm reflecting. It's just like a mini therapy session for me. It sets me up, it makes me feel good. It could be soaking myself in a tub with some good music or some inspirational words going on in the background, lights off, some candles on. Those are the type of things that I like as a person. So you can define what you like, what sets you up and puts you in the right state of mind. And also different seasons require a different level of self-care. It could be taking care of your physical fitness, making sure that you're fit enough to play with your kids outside or run around with them in the house. You know, it's simple things like that that you would be doing for yourself, they're making you happy, but also holistically your surrounding is also receiving of the joyful energy that pouring into yourself is bringing. The other thing is just being still and having the ability to listen to my thoughts, having the ability to know where I am and what I'm desiring. In a fast life, in a life where we're chasing dreams, in a life where we have all the different responsibilities that are demanding of us, I feel like being still is something that a lot of people are being robbed of. It's something that a lot of people are even incapable of doing. So many times people are running on thoughts of other people. You're running on thoughts of probably what you have seen, what you have heard, but being in a place where you blind yourself of that, being in a place where you blind yourself of that and start to just have thoughts of your own. So what I do for me is, because I have recognized the areas and the places that could potentially have influence on what I could be thinking or what I could be feeding my spirit, what I do in those moments is I unplug myself. If I know that maybe a particular TV show sets me up in a certain way, or I start to think in a certain way, I unplug myself from that. If watching certain people's lives on social media sets me up in a particular way, I unplug myself from that. I stay away. If I have to stay away from social media, I stay away. And because this is a priority for me, it's important for me, because even as I share this, I'm equally feeding into myself, and I know that as I'm feeding into myself, this video is going to feed into someone else. So because this is a priority for me, I plug out. It's a discipline of telling yourself that from this particular time to this time, I will not invest in this, or I will not allow this platform to feed into me, but I will sit still, whether it's meditating on the word of God or just meditating on where your life is, thinking through the positive stuff that you want to do and thinking through how you would want to do them. That's putting yourself in a position where you can actually think for yourself. You use your brain and intentionally just taking steps and positioning things around you to feed into yourself. So prioritizing different small or big things to invest yourself in a particular day constantly is very, very important. No matter how busy you are, no matter how fast your life may be going, take some time out. Take even 30 minutes, take 15 minutes, or take 10 minutes, 5 minutes in every hour. You have to set an alarm on your phone where you say 5 minutes I need to do this in this 5 minutes. I need to unplug in this. You just do that. So be intentional about prioritizing your self-care, prioritizing your inside, prioritizing your outside. Tip number 3 is sometimes as moms, like I had mentioned at some point, is we tend to have this guilt feeling. I don't know how that is birthed in us, but there's always this guilt feeling that you have when you do something for yourself, or when you have to go somewhere and maybe leave your child at home or leave your baby at home. There's always that good feeling. Maybe you've got a hangout with a friend, or you've got a date or a meeting or anything that is for yourself. It's important for us to make it known so that it will be respected and it becomes really part of us. It becomes a norm. Making it known not only to your spouse, because your spouse is your partner and they probably know all these things about you, but making it known even to a child. My son is 4 now, and I've been teaching him to respect the fact that mommy needs to have her hair done, or mommy needs to meet up with a friend, or mommy needs to get her nails done or go to the spa. It's really coming to a place where we teach the kids that these things are okay and not be apologetic about it. But why should you be apologetic of something that you know you need? Making it known is really important. Over the long run, it becomes part of you. It turns into things that as your children grow, they respect. On your birthday, when they are 12 years old, they plan a spa date for you because they've learned that it's not apologetic for their parents to take care of themselves. I have always been intentional with communicating the right thing and communicating exactly what it is, because I really don't see the point in lying to a child, because over time, firstly, you're teaching them that lying is okay, and secondly, they just reach a point where they don't trust you. So if I'm leaving or going somewhere, I make it known and communicate exactly what it is. So kid has to understand that this is what mommy needs to do. Over time, he will understand that it's important for her to do this and for her to give fully. Like I can give an example of where our relationship is right now with my son. I will tell him I'm going to have my hair done, or I'm going to have my nails done. And obviously he'll be like, don't go and things like that. And I'll assure him like, I'll be coming back, but mommy needs to take care of herself. And when I come back, he knows that, oh, this is what she said she's going to do. And he's eager to actually see. He'll say, your hair looks nice or your nails look nice, because he's excited and he believes what I had told him. So I honestly think when it comes to self-care, your children or your spouse or the people around you, it's important for you to make it known. Make it known that this is what you're going to do, this is what you like to do, and allow them to have the chance to respect these areas of you. Tip number 4 is similar to what I'm just from talking about, but it's don't be apologetic about, excuse me, but it's don't be apologetic about your self-care. Whether it's stepping out to have time alone, whether it's date nights as a couple, it's hanging out with friends, a spa date, or anything that you would like to do for yourself or for yourselves as a couple, investing in each other or investing in yourselves, it's important not to be apologetic about it, because what you're teaching over the long run is also that these other avenues of your life are equally important to self, and they're equally important to you as a family, and holistic become beneficial. Because the more I invest into myself, I pour wholly into my partner, we pour wholly into each other, and we pour wholly into our family, into our children. So it becomes holistic, and it's very important that we don't be apologetic about investing in ourselves and investing in other things that benefit us for the sake of others. And the last point is don't stress about it. A lot of people overthink self-care. Guys, it's not as complicated as it seems, or even with some of the things that I've said, it's not as complicated as that. It's really, firstly, learning what you like, learning where you are at a particular time, a particular season, learning what you can do for yourself in that particular time or season with or without the money. Not knowing that you don't need a bunch of money to take care of yourself, to invest in yourself. So don't stress about it. Keep it simple. If you have a tap, run a bath, make sure the water is full and just sit in there. You don't need a bubble bath or anything. Just sit in there and let the heat of the water relax you. As simple as that. As simple as sitting outside and just hearing the birds and just getting the air, if it's morning air or if it's evening air, and just having that stillness for yourself. For me, because I have a 4-year old, I'm grateful that I've been blessed with a good health. And in moments where I just need to be still, in moments where I just need some alone time, she comes in and I take that 30 minutes bath that I need to take. But in a case where you probably don't have help, think of other ways that it can be done. Or probably when the child sleeps, whatever can work for you, don't stress. Take a breath and do what can work. Some days will be harder than some days will be possible, some will be impossible, but holistically just try by all means to make time for yourself without stressing about it, without stressing the fact that you can't get this done, but there's always something else that you can do. Some of the things that I can give an example is just how I don't stress over certain things. If I know that I don't have a 450 to go and pay for my nails, I have another plug that I know that maybe I'll probably pay 120 for it and they'll still look as good. If I'm not able to pay that 120, I have a nail clipper, I have a nail file. I'll take some time for myself, scrub my body. If I have to purchase a scrub, I do that. If I can't purchase a scrub, I'll make a homemade sugar scrub. You can get sugar, pluck some lemons from the neighbor's tree or somewhere, squeeze that into your sugar, make a scrub, scrub your entire body, scrub your hands, and just make sure that your fingernails, your toenails are clean, as bare as they are. It's really nothing that we should stress about. As long as you're neat and put together, don't stress so much. So when it comes to physical care, it's the simplest things, you guys. Do what you can do for yourself. Do what you can afford for yourself. Just because someone can afford to go and pay a certain amount for hair just doesn't mean you should kill yourself to go and afford that because of what, self-care and appearance. No, do what works for you, and when you're able to, you do whatever you can do. So many people are so stressed over so-called self-care, and this is why I started with soul care. Because if you understand yourself from the inside to the out, if you understand your needs from the inside to out, as you start taking care of your outward appearance, you won't stress. Like, hey, it's simple but cute, right? And I still look clean, right? So it's the simplest things. It's the simplest things that you can do for yourself. It's the simplest moments, the still moments, the reading of the book, the taking of a walk, sitting to get some air, watching a movie, or whatever simple looks like to you. Just do that and ease yourself into it. I know that for some women, it may be a struggle to even strike a balance, to find a balance. But I promise you that the moment you start to prioritize it, the moment you start to prioritize the fact that it's part of you, it becomes respectable, and finding the time for it becomes very much possible. If plan A is not possible, try plan B, try plan C, try plan D, till you figure out how possible it is. But most importantly is take care of yourself. Make time for self. Make time to feed into yourself. Make time to make sure that you're clean. Make sure that your surrounding is clean. Just everything around you is fresh. Relax, reset, calm yourself, take yourself out of anxiety and states of depression. Take time out for you. And lastly, this is not a tip, but it's something that I want to touch on. It's important to recognize that you're equal parents and that you both need time out. You both need time for yourselves and you need time for each other. It's important to be aware that as equal parents, we both have roles and responsibilities that we are playing. It's important for both parties to be well fed, refilled, and recharged. I really hope that this video has been helpful. Don't forget to take time out for yourself, even if it's just that 5 minutes in a day. Start with that and build it up over time. Lastly, I would like to read a scripture, Psalm 103 verse 5. He fills my life with good things. My youth is renewed like an eagle. So for me, the key word here is renewed. To renew something is knowing that this thing is already in existence, and as this thing is moving, it's probably collecting dust. It's probably collecting different particles, different stuff getting stuck to it, passing through the mud, passing through the fires, and getting burnt, and all that different stuff that would leave stains onto this particular thing. But knowing that there is potential and hope for this thing to be renewed and made to a place where it looks new, where it looks like it had not even been touched by the fire. So he fills our lives up with good things, and our youth is renewed like an eagle. God has the ability to fill us up from the inside and allow it to radiate from to the outside. He has the ability to renew us from every residue, from every stain, from anything that may have put us in a state where we can't take care of ourselves, from anything that has put us in a state where we don't see ourselves fit or even worthy of taking care of ourselves. God has the ability to renew us. He has the ability to do that. He has the ability to put things in place and things in order to allow space and room for you to be you, for you to be a being, and for you to take care of yourself. So you may say others' lives may have it easy, or others might have all the time that they would probably need, or others have enough help. God has the ability to align things for you to work for your good, because he fills your life up with good things, because he has the ability to fill your life up with the good things, and know that you are deserving of those good things that God has placed in your life. So until next Wednesday, thank you so much for joining me on today's Pearls of Wisdom. If there's anything that you should take away from this video, is that you should invest in yourself. Whatever investment in yourself looks like, begin to do that every day. Set a reminder to do that for yourself until it becomes a routine, until it becomes part of you. Keep doing that and keep investing in yourself, keep loving yourself, keep respecting yourself, and keep giving the best of yourself to others and to everything else. I love you so much. Have an amazing day and an amazing week. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel.